What's up everyone, it's Bucky. Welcome to your 14th C tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you guys about an array. Now what an array is pretty much a way that you can store multiple items of the same type in your computer. Or in other words, this might be a little easier to understand, you can store multiple values in a single variable. So, you might not be able to grasp that concept yet, but I promise you by the end of this tutorial, you'll be an array expert. So the first thing that you need to do, again, just like a normal variable, is define it. So go ahead and type whatever value you're going to be returning or going to be storing it. I'm going to be just working with numbers, so I'm going to go ahead and write int for integer. Next, you're going to need to name your array. Give it any name you want. I'm going to name mine Bucky. Now the next thing you do is a little different than defining a single variable. You need square brackets, and inside those square brackets you have to type whatever number you're going to want to reserve in your memory. Now since I'm going to be storing 5 different values in this array, I'm going to go ahead and write the number 5. And what that does is tell your compiler and your computer, alright, we're going to have 5 numbers, so go ahead, go into my memory and reserve 5 spaces for this array. So it's going to go, okay, done. The next thing that we're going to want to do is assign variables or assign values to the elements in this array. Now, although we have 5 different elements we just built in Bucky, we don't start with the number 1 and go to 5. Your computer, since it loves zeros and ones, it's going to start with the value 0 and go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0 to 4 are the elements you're going to be able to work with, not 1 to 5. So your maximum is always 1 less than whatever you define. And I'll show you guys what this means later. But to store different values in each of these elements, what we need to do is do just that. So this is how you do that. Go ahead and write the name of your array, and this is just for assigning values. Then, since 0 is our first element, we need to assign a value to this. So go ahead, Bucky 0 equals, and we'll just put 16. And we do this for the entire list of our array. So Bucky 1 equals 21. Now let's just go ahead and make a simple print statement to make sure that this is working alright. Printf %d, might as well put a new line for formatting, and go ahead and instead of your variable, go ahead and put whatever element in the array it is. So Bucky 0. Now let's go ahead and compile and run this, and we should get the number 16. Come on, no whammy. Right there, 16. But what happens if we try to print out an element that hasn't been assigned a value yet, such as 3? Well, I'm not even sure myself, so let's go ahead and test it out. Gotta feed my curiosity, you know. Ooh, that's interesting. That might be a location memory, I don't know. But we don't want to do that. So what you want to do is, before you go ahead and doing all that, you want to go through your array and make your entire list and assign values to each of those numbers. Now, you can either do that Bucky 0, Bucky 1, Bucky 2, Bucky 3, Bucky 4, and that'll give you your 5. But there's a much easier way to do this, and I'm going to show you guys that right now. Instead of doing one number by one number, what you can do is define the values right when you're defining your array. So put Bucky 5 equals, and then in your curly braces, all you have to do is type in 5 values. So let's type in 21, 13, 435, 56, and 7. And what this is going to do is assign the element number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is also called the position number, because it's what position in the array it is. So Bucky 0 is going to equal 21. Bucky 1 is going to equal 13. Bucky 2, 435, 3, 56, 4, 7. And remember, even though this is 5, that just means there's 5 elements. It doesn't mean you need 5, or your position number doesn't go to 5. So again, when you define an array and have, this is how many spaces in memory it's going to take up. But remember, your position number starts at 0, so it's always one less than that. Now let's say we want to print out Bucky 3. So again, let's print that out, and it's going to go, well, here's Bucky 0, here's Bucky 1, 2, 3. So we're going to get the number 56. So let's go ahead and see that right there. Come on, come on, no whammy, no whammy. Right there, 56. And this is how you can store multiple values in a single variable. And go ahead and experiment with this. And another thing I want to teach you guys one last time is, if you're making a list and you want to find out how many elements you have, but you don't exactly know how many you have, maybe you have the user input a certain number of things and you don't know how many it's going to be, you can leave this number blank when defining your array. And what this will do is tell your computer, alright, I don't know how many numbers we're going to have, but I do know we're going to have an array, so just reserve a bunch of space. And then let's make a couple more numbers here. And then what your computer does is automatically take that number, and it pretty much just does everything automatically for you. That's all you need to know for right now. So let's go ahead and print out a number like 7. So we'll go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should get the number 32. So let's go ahead and do that. Come on, 32, 32. Bam. Right there. So again, in conclusion, that is your intro to array. And I know it might seem still kind of confusing, but I promise in the next couple tutorials we're going to be building some simple programs, and I'll show you why an array is actually useful and not just have fun with. So again, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you understood a little bit about arrays, but I promise I'll be clearing this up for you in the next couple tutorials. So again, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.